Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SEO B.S. Having some fun here, but I have my lucky pen here. I'm in the office. I'm kind of in the mood to kind of do a little bit something different today behind my dry erase boards here. But in this episode, we're going to talk about marketing in dentistry. Now, it does help if you are a dentist, of course, and you have your own dental practice, but you don't have to be a dentist. You can work or have your own medical practice or urgent care practice because this information is going to apply to you. And also, when we dive into this training here or this episode here, these are loaded subjects. These are loaded topics. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of information in these topics. So there's no way, we can cover all about marketing and dentistry or the other topics related to SEO B.S. in all these episodes, even under our blog. I mean, most of our blogs are in between 2,000 and 3,000 words. Our blogs are hefty blogs. We're giving you some great advice so that way you can make the best decision possible for your company. And that's the whole purpose of SEO B.S. is give you a no holds barred information. That way you can make the best decision for you, for your employees, and for your company. So let's get started with SEO B.S. marketing dentistry, baby. Now, in my experience, I'm just talking about myself and my experience working with medical practices, working at dental companies, and working inside the digital media industry. I mean, most of the time when you have a dental practice, most of the time dentists are not going to hire somebody in-house to do their marketing. Most of the time they're going to venture out to a marketing agency. I don't really know why. I mean, if you have the money, in my opinion, if you have the money to hire a marketing agency and you're paying a marketing agency good money, because if you're not paying them good money, of course they're not going to do a good job. So good money for a small business as far as dental, you might be spending $2,000 a month for a marketing agency. In my opinion, right off the bat here with all this bullshit is take that money, hire someone in-house or hire someone in-house part-time. You're going to get way better results with that than trying to go to a marketing agency. Now, if you do hire a marketing agency, there's a couple things you have to think about when you hire a marketing agency, especially when we're talking about niche markets. When we're talking about you as a dentist, you have your own dental practice. These are your two choices. This is where my handy pen will come along. Is one, you go to a broad marketing agency, meaning that you go to a marketing agency that has many clients. Write that down. So they have many clients in different industries. So we're dealing with different industries here. Okay, they could have clients in the clothing industry, clients in the dental industry, clients in the medical field, clients that sell shoes, have e-commerce sites, and so forth and so forth. So you can go to a marketing agency that has many different clients. There's certain skills that come along with that. Or the most popular when you start looking at the dental industry, the most popular, let's jump over here a little bit if you can see me, is you go to a niche market agent. You go into a niche marketing agency, meaning that you're going to a marketing agency that only has dental clients. So you're really kind of focusing in and you think, well, it's best for me to go to an agency that's focusing on a niche market and they only do marketing for dentists. Okay, now which one's better? Okay, this is what we're going to discuss today. Because most of the time, you're going to be, if you're not hiring someone in-house, okay, if you're not taking that money, using that money for a better purpose, this is what we're going to focus on today in this episode of SEO B.S. What's better? What's the better choice for you when you start talking about a niche market and you start talking about a marketing agency that has many clientele? Now we're going to kind of start over here. When you start thinking about a marketing agency that has many different clients, many different industries, lots of times when we look at a pro, we look at a positive side to it, is that, I'm going to have, like, if I'm talking about myself, well, I'm going to have a broader experience that I can bring over to your dental practice. Meaning my broader experience is because, I'm seeing, let me change. I'm basically seeing different businesses all day long, because I'm not just focused in the medical field. I'm seeing what different businesses are doing all day long, because I see their accounts, or I'm doing their marketing or their SEO, so forth and so forth. So I see it, I get exposed to it. So I get exposed to different industries and what they're doing in those industries. I'm getting exposed to very large companies, and I'm getting exposed to very small companies. So this could be a benefit. Honestly, this could be a big benefit because of pure exposure. And that's really, to me, that's really the main benefit here. When we look at this, that's really the main benefit when we're looking at it. It's just the exposure of different industries, because different industries are going to do different things. So you have to understand that. Okay, now when we look at kind of the con, a pro to con, okay, the greatest con that I could see going to a normal marketing agency with different industries is, you probably would guess it, is that I might not know. Like, if you called me or called an agency and you want them to do your marketing or SEO or digital marketing for your dental practice, well, they might not have any clients that are in the dental industry. So that's the biggest con. So when we think about a con or a negative, is that they might not have no domain knowledge of your dental practice. So now all of a sudden, I might have to acquire domain knowledge. And what I mean by that is, I might have to learn, about the dental industry. Okay, I might not know the terminology. I might not know the biggest of terminology, what you guys know. Far from I know what you do, but basically is, I don't have no domain knowledge in the dental industry itself. If you're selling dental products, I need to have domain knowledge on that. I need to have domain knowledge about laws and stuff like that surrounding the medical industry. I might not know all this stuff, but so this is the biggest con, because what happens is it takes time. So when you hire an agency that don't have no domain knowledge, well, it's going to take time for them, maybe even a couple months. You're paying them a couple months. Might take time for them to really get going. Because in those couple months, they're learning about your company. They're learning domain knowledge about the industry you're in, because they have no experience in your industry. So this is the biggest con right here. Okay, now let's jump over to, if you can see me here, I'm going to move the camera so you can kind of see me. Might be in an angle, but anyway, you get my point. So when we jump over here to a niche market, when you start thinking about, well, this is common sense right here. You have no domain knowledge. You don't have no clients in the dental industry, so I don't want to pay you. I don't want to pay a marketing agency to spend a couple months to get domain knowledge to finally be able to help me out, technically. Now, granted, these agencies will lie to you. If they don't have any dental clients, they're trying to get through it and basically give you a lot of BS to try to get you as a client. But anyway, and you might know that if you ask the right questions. You're better, if you ask them a lot of questions in the dental industry, you're going to be able to figure out if they do or they don't. If you just question them. So don't be intimidated. You're a doctor, so don't be intimidated to question people. So now you kind of come over to a niche market agency that all their clients are dental clients. So now all of a sudden you think, they're going to know. There is no domain knowledge. They already have the domain knowledge. They already know the terminology. They already know the ins and outs of the industry. They already know all the laws that go along with the dental industry. Or at least you hope they do. You know what I mean? Now, with this one, the niche market, the biggest pro is that they already have the domain knowledge. Okay, they already know everything, or at least you assume they do. Okay, now sometimes we can argue this, and I can really argue it because I've been inside these agencies before. I've been inside niche market agencies, and I've been inside marketing agencies that have a ton of different industries. So I've been in both, and they both have pros and cons. So that's the main pro. But when we think about the con, okay, when you think about a negative, I'm going to twist this a lot. Okay, I'm going to twist it because, I'm not going to say, well, the negative is, the same thing over here. The negative over here is something you probably haven't thought about. The negative over here is what I like to call a cookie cutter approach. Okay, they're a cookie cutter marketing agency. Make sense? So meaning that with any marketing agency, okay, I can pick on marketing agencies over here. I can pick on niche marketing agencies. The biggest thing is over here, they're a cookie cutter marketing agency. They do the same thing. They give the same advice. Okay, any marketing agency is trying to scale their company. Okay, when they try to scale their company, remember, when a marketing agency wants to make more money, wants to profit more as a business, what do they have to do? Okay, what they have to do is they have to increase their clientele to make more money. So when they're trying to scale, they have tons of clients. They have 80 clients, 90 clients, 100 clients a month with a very lean marketing team. What do you think happens? Just common sense, you as a business owner, what do you think happens when I scale it so big? What do you think happens? Well, number 4 here is they really just cut corners. They have to cut corners to get things done. This is why I started the whole SEO B.S. is because they're not doing your marketing, they're not doing your SEO. SEO services, 100%, they're not doing. They might do basic stuff, but they're not doing it. I mean, I've been doing SEO for a long time, but I can tell you right now, they're not doing it. But anyway, this is the whole scaling process. They have to cut corners somewhere, and they're cutting corners on you, on your work, what they're telling you to do. So when we come back over here to a niche market and we talk about cookie cutter, they're a cookie cutter agency, meaning that, think about it this way, meaning that they're giving all their clients to kind of scale a niche market agency. How they're scaling is because they stay inside the same industry, which is the dental industry. They then come down here and they give, this is scary, they give the same advice to their clients. They give the same advice to their clients. I'm not joking. If anybody has this type of experience, I'm telling the truth. They give the same advice to their clients because that's how they scale their agency. That's how these niche market agencies that have 100 clients and they have a very lean team get away with it, because it's the same advice. Now, let's go to another con. Another con, let's talk about your competitors right now. Because right now, competitor research, for some reason, is really popular. Marketing agencies have made competitor research popular. You want to know what your competitors are doing. You want to steal information from your competitors, and so forth and so forth. And I can tell you this much right now. When we talk about SEO, and I'm just making sure you can see that. When we talk about SEO, okay, when you copy your competitors, you steal your competitors' stuff, you steal your competitors' ideas, you copy like for like, okay, this pretty much hurts your SEO, destroys your SEO, destroys your organic search faster than anything. Okay. So when you think about it in that realm, it's good to kind of keep up with your competitors. It's good to know what your competitors are doing, but don't copy. And when I sit down, when I work for agencies, and I work even for a niche market agency, or I have you as a client, I do competitor research. I do it old school. I get on Google and I look at your competitors in your local area. Who are your true competitors? And you'll be surprised how everybody's website will be alike. I'm not joking. When you look at their websites over here, all the websites will be alike. Not joking at all. You're just looking at the same website. It's like they all copied each other's website. If they have an e-commerce site, they copy their e-commerce site like for like. So when you look at someone's website, it's not even original ideas. You know what I mean? That's what hurts you over here when you're a cookie cutter marketing agency. Why? Because they're giving all the clients the same information. They're doing the same stuff for all their clients. If they do web design over here, if they do web design, if I could spell, if they do web design, all the websites are alike. They're using the same theme, the same stuff to get it done quick. They're trying to make quick money. That's how they're scaling. So now let's basically come down here and talk about your competitors. Okay, I'm going to say something that maybe I shouldn't say. When you look at competitors, most of the time, especially when you're in a niche market, this happens over in regular marketing agencies as well, is that you always sign some type of contract. You always sign some type of confidential contract. Okay, and you would hope a marketing agency would keep your company confidential. Okay, not tell different clients, or not tell different clients what you're doing, and so forth and so forth. Let's jump over here to a niche market. When you look at your competitors, when you look at confidentiality, a lot of times I'll give you an example. Lots of times what happens is, if you hire a niche market agency in your dental field, so you're a dentist, okay, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, this agency will also have, or also represent, or also have as a client your competitors as well, at least in your local area. Okay, it's very logical that they might, maybe not, but they might, or at one time they did. Okay, now think about that. So if they're giving clients, if they're giving clients the same information, they're giving you the same information that they're giving your competitors. Okay. Now, when we talk about your competitors, you think like you signed this confidentiality agreement. I can tell you firsthand, because most of the time you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with phone calls. I'm talking to you on the phone. So, lots of times sometimes I'm not mentioning names, but I'm telling you exactly what your competitors are doing. So if I'm telling you what your competitors are doing, don't you think I'm probably telling your competitors what you're doing? Now, you don't have to believe me, okay? Agencies are going to say, no, we don't do that. We have strict confidential policies. We don't do that. But they do. So, and I've been on the inside. I don't want to mention names and stuff like that. That's not the purpose here. But it's the purpose to give you an idea of what's going on. So that way you can kind of make a decision which way is better to go. Now, I kind of gave you a lot of information. I'm going to change the angle here. That way you can go straight now. So, I gave you, a good pro over here and a really good con. Really good. Same thing over here with niche market agencies. I gave you a really good pro because they might know your industry, but then I gave you a pretty good con here. Like, why in the world would you go to a niche market agency? Now, if you want to know, this SEO B.S., you want to know what I would do? Okay. And this is what I would do. I wouldn't even hire agencies. I would hire someone in-house. Okay, because I live in LA, so I can only take prices from LA. Okay, what the average marketing agency will charge a small business like yours. And let me grab me grab a little tissue here. Hopefully you got this. I'm going to erase it real quick so I can give you one more example. Okay, now this is the deal. Now I can only take numbers from LA. But for a small business, okay, your dental practice is a small business. So the average for dental services, the average for digital marketing SEO services for a small business ranges from about $1,200 to $2,000 per month in LA. This is what agencies will charge for a small business if it's a decent agency. Now, of course, agencies can charge a lot more when you go to an A-list agencies that have huge clients, huge clientele. I mean, this number can increase to a minimum of $10,000 a month. Okay, now these agencies are real deal agencies, but again, they're only focused on high ticket clients because the high ticket clients are the ones that can afford to really pay them that kind of money to really get real results and good results. Most of the time when agencies go into small business, and most of the time, in my opinion, it's a scam. These are scam services because what you have to understand is, and this is one thing to ask too, and I'm going to do basic math for you. Let's say you get a marketing package for $1,500 per month. Okay, now this is a real number. I worked for an agency that had a marketing package for $1,500 a month. Okay, the great question to ask is how much do you charge per hour? Because when they're doing your marketing for $1,500 a month, they're not working 40 hours a week on your stuff. They're not working 20 hours a week on your stuff. Get that idea out of your brain. Okay, this is like being an attorney. This is like paying a retainer. When you pay an attorney a retainer, they charge per hour. They have a per hour service. Okay, then they deduct all that from their retainer. So you have to think about this as a retainer. You have to think about it like you're hiring an attorney. Okay, because this is a monthly retainer that you're paying a marketing agency. You have to ask them, how much do you charge per hour? They have to charge. Any agency is going to have a per hour fee they charge. No matter if they tell you they do or don't, it has to be somewhere inside your contract in a fine print. You have to find it or you have to ask. And you have to be, if they don't want to tell you, you have to like dig it out of them, pry it out of them. If they're not going to tell you, move on. Okay, now with this agency example I was with in LA, they charged $150 per month. Not per month. They charge $150 per hour. I'm on monthly. But they charge $150 per hour. So when you do just basic math, this is 10 hours. So what this means is they're only going to give you, put that down, they're only going to give you 10 hours a month of marketing services. Okay. So now it doesn't seem so dandy anymore. You know, you're paying them $1,500 a month. They charge $150 per hour because they have to make profit somehow. And they're only going to give you 10 hours a month. Okay, this is how they scale the services, and it gets even more crappier than this. Most of the time, they don't even do 10 hours of work, but they're still scaling. But this is one way how they scale. They're going to have something like this inside their contract. They have to legally, or you're going to sue them. Okay, they have to. So now, out of this 10 hours a month, they're going to treat it like an attorney. Okay, what they're going to do is, anytime that you send them emails, okay, anytime they do presentations for you, that maybe you meet once a week, okay, so anytime you meet with them once a week, either on a phone call or a Zoom call. So anytime they do a presentation, either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, they're at least going to do at least one per month, because these presentations are basically sales presentations, because they want to show you what they've done so you can keep on paying them every single month. Okay, so these presentations are sales presentations. So when they do emails, they put time into presentations, they put time into your reports that they give you weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. They deduct all this time from this 10 hours. Okay, so how much time did this take? I mean, lots of times it's exaggerated, because sometimes they're pre-made. It's the same way when you run an SEO report, unless you have a huge company, most of the time these SEO reports are done in 10 minutes. Now, of course, they're going to tell you it took them 2 hours, but lots of times this stuff is done pretty quick. But they do take a lot of time into reporting and presentations, because remember what I said. These reports and presentations are a sales tactic for you to pay them every single month. It's sales. They're salesmen, period. Okay, they want you to pay every single month. They put a lot of time in these presentations. So, just from experience, out of 10 hours of work, they probably at least take 5 hours of their time doing these presentations, meeting with you. Maybe they meet with you 1 hour a week. Well, that hour is going to be deducted. So just with emails and presentation reports, they've done no marketing for you, no digital marketing. They've done zero SEO, if you're hiring them to do your SEO, and they've already taken up 5 hours of your time. 5 hours, billable hours. So now all of a sudden, this 10 hours is dropped to 5 hours. At best case scenario, now they're only doing about 5 hours of work. You hope they're doing 5 hours of work. So I mean, at this point, they even still cut corners. Okay, especially, I mean, this can get really confusing if you've been with agencies, if you've seen agencies' plans, or their different packages. Lots of times they include a whole bunch of different things and packages, because it's too easy to fool you. It's too easy to play you, because you don't know. And what I mean by this is lots of times what they will do is they will add, even in SEO packages. I see most SEO packages don't even focus on SEO. They say they're running an SEO audit, they're doing competitive research. All of a sudden they're doing your email campaigns, they're writing emails for you, they're doing a blog, they're doing your Google ads and Facebook ads, and so forth and so forth. So what they end up doing is they will do your email campaigns. Okay, they will run your ads. Okay, but that's something you can directly see that's being done, but they start cutting corners at stuff that you don't know, that you're just going to have industry experience to make sure that they're doing your stuff. Or you're going to have to, you're going to have to be experienced in SEO to kind of to see or know what they're doing. So this is something to put in the back of your mind. Okay, now to go on, to kind of move on from this and kind of tell you what I would do if you're spending this, when you're spending this much money. Okay, now if you're paying a marketing service below $1,000, they're 100% ripping you off most of the time. I mean, who's going to do marketing services for $500 a month? I mean, look at it logically. They're probably working an hour. They're probably putting an hour of time into your stuff, and that's it. And you're paying them $500 for an hour. So these are real numbers. So at this point, if you're really paying someone at an agency $1,200 to $2,000 per month, so let's take $2,000. Now in LA, you can't hire nobody. It's under minimum wage. You can't hire nobody for full time for $2,000 a month. But you can hire someone part time. Okay, you can hire someone part time in-house that either you have them work from home, or you have them come to your dental practice with their laptop, or you give them a laptop and they work for you in-house part-time, whatever hours per week that you guys agree to. This is what I would do if I was you. If I had my own dental practice, I would hire part-time in-house. So I would take this $2,000 I'm paying an agency that's not getting me results because they're not doing the work. If you're not getting results, they're not doing the work. So bottom line. So I would take this $2,000, hire someone part-time. Now, even if you paid someone $2,000 a month, okay, and they truly, even if, let's lowball this, even if they gave you, even if they gave you 5 hours a week, okay, in-house, okay, it could be 10 hours a week, but let's keep it low. Even if I came in for $2,000 a month and I say, okay, I'll agree to come in, I'll do your SEO and digital marketing, get you set up, blah, 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 for 5 hours a week, I'll give you 5 hours a week for me to do this. You pay me $2,000 a month. Well, at the end of the month, I've given you 20 hours of my time. I've given you 20 hours of my time. I'm in-house. You know what I'm doing. I'm not doing any of these presentations and reports for you because I'm in-house. You can see me. Now we might, of course we'll do communications and stuff like that, but I'm basically what I'm doing, I'm basically canceling off this 5 hours a marketing agency would be spending, charging you like an attorney, charging you like a retainer, because an attorney is going to charge you for anything. You waste their time, you talk to them, you call them, you send them an email, that's 15 minutes of their time, bottom line. So I basically saved you money here. Then an agency is only going to give you at max, off of a $1,500 one, a max of 10 hours, which we just shortened it to 5 hours. But now with the same amount of money, I'm giving you 5 hours a week and I'm lowballing it. Okay, someone might do this for 10 hours a week. So this money right here is going to be, you're going to profit way better. It's way more smarter to hire in-house, part-time or full-time. Bottom line, stop giving this money to agencies. I'm telling you, I've been in these agencies, and in these examples, the agencies that really focus on their niche market is small business. I mean, oh my goodness. I don't want to say they're scamming you, but they're not doing their services because you're not paying enough money. The agencies out there that are great A-list agencies, you just can't afford. Bottom line, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but these agencies that have top clients, their minimum client, get this, their minimum client might be paying $10,000 per month. So that's way different from over here. So that's why huge brands, get. That's why huge brands get things done. That's why everything is working. Their digital marketing is working. Their SEO is working because they're paying for it. So again. If you're spending this amount of money, take it, hire in-house. Even though it takes time to find someone good, even though it takes time to try to interview and hire and stuff like that, but this is way better for your money, way better for your business, doing it this way than throwing it away with these agencies. But other than that, my friends, this was a long one, a long SEO BS. But I was kind of in the training mode to kind of stick inside when we talk about marketing and dentistry, marketing and medical practices, urgent cares and stuff like that. But hopefully that helped you out. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll reach out to you, try to answer everything. But anyway, I'll see you in the next episode of SEO BS.